We have
Miss Paula, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, if you can do a roll call, please.
Time. What time is it?
It is 5:22 and we're reconvening from closed session.
5:26. Okay. Trustee Dopplemore,
Report. Present. Oh, we haven't started yet.
Trustee
Sorry. Hello.
Ramos,
Present.
Trustee, thank you. Trustee Calhoun,
Present.
Dr. Little,
Present.
Trustee Lopez,
Present.
thank you.
No problem. All right, moving on to item number 5.02. If Trustee Dopplemore, if you would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, I will. If everyone can please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Okay, and I just want to confirm that there's nothing reportable to present, Dr. Curry.
Yeah, yes, I sent it to you.
It's not populating on my end. Oh, here we go. So in closed session, the Board of Trustees took action to deny the appeal of dismissal from probationary employment of a former classified employee formerly employed in the classification of associate registrar. The roll call vote was 5-0 in favor of this action. Moving on to item number 7, Compton Community College District resolutions continuing Board of Trustees authority to hold virtual board meetings pursuant to AB 361, open meetings, state and local agency teleconferences. 7.01 is Compton Community College District Resolution 1215, 2021B, continuing Board of Trustees authority to hold virtual meetings pursuant to Assembly Bill 361, open meetings, state and local agencies teleconferences. Board members, do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Little, seconded by Trustee Ramos. I will open it up to discussion. Trustee Dopplemore.
No discussion.
Trustee Ramos.
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun.
This is 701 about the virtual meetings, right?
Correct.
I just think that the board, my opinion, I just think that the board needs to really look into holding our meetings in person. If they so choose, it can be done 2 ways. Whoever wants to be in person, we can have it in the little theater. And we could come to the little theater. And for the ones that are still do not want to come in person, they could be on Zoom. I had a community meeting, and the community meeting was in the little theater, and it was on Zoom, and it was also in person. And it worked out very good because you could see the people that were on Zoom. They could still raise their hands and ask their questions. When, for audience comments and stuff like that. And so I really think that as our school or as our faculty and our staff and everybody starts returning back to the school, that we as a board need to also think about having our meetings back in person inside the little theater.
Thank you. Dr. Little.
I feel that while it is important for us to continue to foster the relationships and the in-person opportunities of access, that we have to also recognize that it may need to be a hybrid, and that we have to be responsive, because we're seeing even now different outbreaks and things like that. And so I just think that it's not a one size fits all, and that we remain open to the conversation, and that we continue to do it month by month. I think if we're talking about in January, immediately following the holiday, that we either keep it as a virtual, as a hybrid, and then reassess it after that. I don't think, because again, as I indicated before, I recognize and appreciate, as many people who have external jobs and are making these decisions, that we are also responsible as well of convening, and that our public members have access for various reasons via this forum. And that's one of the reasons why I continue to support this forum.
Dr. Curry, I do want to ask if you can present to us, and I know this isn't the place, so I'll make a comment, then I'll also follow it up in the appropriate space. Give us a plan on how we will be able to convert, whether it is the Little Theater or the Student Center, with spacing, a potential meeting. So what our options would look like, so that you come in. I know Dr. Little mentioned a hybrid, and I want to say AB 361 either has you come back full in person or continue remaining virtual. It's not it's one or the other, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll have Dr. Curry address that. And then Trustee Ramos, you have your hand up.
You kind of said what I wanted to say, and what Dr. Little said, that it might not be a part of this motion, but if Dr. Curry could come back to us, like having a hybrid model, are we precluded or are we allowed to, based on AB 361? That's all I had.
So I can follow back up on that, but I will say this, is that I recommend that the board approve this resolution tonight, that when you decide on your meeting dates for January, we can set up a location like the Little Theater, which we have set up already. So individuals would like to be in person, they can be in person, and we can make sure that it's done social distance wise for that as well. So, but in order for that to happen, we still will need to say that the meetings will be held online, but making a space available on campus for individuals who would like to be our board members, who would like to be in that space, and we can do that. And I don't know if that was Trustee Calhoun was going with her question, but that would be my recommendation, would be approve it for the next 30 days. But then also we can open a Little Theater up for anybody that would like to be in a Little Theater for the board meeting, and any board members who would like to be there, but it will still be a virtual meeting, but we will open up our space on campus for individuals, board members or community members who would like to be in a space for the meeting. But it still be considered a virtual meeting.
Okay. See no further. Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call, please?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Trustee Ramos,
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 8, approval of open session agenda. 8.01, approval of open session agenda. Board members, can I get a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved by Trustee Ramos, seconded by Trustee Calhoun. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Dopplemore.
No discussion on item 9, please. And it
Trustee
is 9,
Ramos.
I'm sorry, is it 8?
No, we're on 8.01.
8.01, no discussion.
Trustee Ramos,
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun,
No discussion.
Dr. Little,
No discussion.
seeing no discussion, Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
trustee Ramos,
Aye.
trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, at this item number 9, I will be passing over the gavel to the board secretary, Dr. Curry, so he can help conduct 9.01. Dr. Curry.
So for 9.01, this is part of our annual meeting. I take over to do item 9.01, which is the annual organizational meeting. And so the first item for 9.01 is the election of officers. So the board needs to elect a president for the 22 year, for beginning tonight through 22, a vice president, and also a clerk. So I take nominations now for the president position.
I move to nominate Sonia Lopez as president.
Is there a second?
I second.
The motion has been made by trustee Ramos to nominate board president Sonia Lopez for president again, and Dr. Little as second. Trustee Lopez, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Okay, so now since we have done the nomination, and then we also know to accept the nomination, can we get a roll call vote on that selection?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
trustee Ramos,
Aye.
trustee Calhoun, trustee Calhoun, Dr. Little,
Aye.
trustee Lopez,
Aye.
trustee Calhoun.
All right, Dr. Curry, are you giving me back the gavel or?
Yes, so the motion passed is 4, no vote, there's no 0 vote, there's no recorded vote for Calhoun.
Moving to item 9.02, the board is to appoint actually, no, there's still other items in 9.01 though, because
The vice
I think
president.
got it. Board members, is there a motion for a vice president?
I move to nominate trustee Calhoun.
Second.
Trustee Calhoun, you have been nominated for vice president of the board. Do you accept?
Yes, there was something wrong with my, I know you can see me, but I couldn't get on. There was something wrong with my volume. So I'm back on, even though you can see me. So I'm sorry I missed your vote, but
No
my vote is yes for you. I'm sorry.
You're fine. So at the moment, board members, we have a motion to nominate trustee Calhoun for vice president, and it's been seconded, and then the nomination has been accepted. If there's no discussion, Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
trustee Ramos,
Aye.
trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
So just for the record, since trustee Calhoun mentioned that she had problems with her mic, so for the vote for president, that means all 5 voted yes on that. Am I correct, trustee Calhoun?
That is correct. That is correct.
All right, board members, we now have open nominations for clerk of the board. Do we have any nominations?
I nominate trustee Dopplemore.
Second.
Trustee Dopplemore, you have been nominated to be clerk. Do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I accept the nomination for being clerk
Thank you.
with a lot of help. Thank you. With a mentor, I accept.
Board members, if there's no discussion, Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Trustee Ramos,
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, board members, now we will move on to item 9.02. The board is to appoint a representative to the Los Angeles County School Trustees Association for the year of 2022. For the year of 2021, we had Representative Andres Ramos on the board. Do we have any nominations for this position?
Which one is this one?
9.02.
I know.
I would nominate Trustee Ramos.
I need a second for that nomination.
I second.
Trustee Ramos, do you take the nomination to remain the Los Angeles County School Trustee Association representative?
Yes.
Ms. Paula, can you do a roll call?
I'm sorry, who seconded that?
It
Durrani
was
Little.
Dr. Little.
Thank you, I'm sorry. Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye. Thank you. Board members, we're now moving to item 9.03, the Los Angeles County Committee on School District Organizations. For the year 2021, we had Representative Trustee Calhoun. Do we have any nominations?
Can I stay in that position?
I nominate Trustee Calhoun.
Thank
There a second?
Oh, second. Trustee Dopplemore, second.
All right, it's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Dopplemore. Trustee Calhoun, do you accept the nomination?
you. Yes.
All right, Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Trustee Ramos,
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun, oh no,
Aye.
Trustee Dr. Little,
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 9.04. It is recommended that the board appoint a member to review nominations for membership in the California Community College Trustees Board and make a recommendation to the Board of Trustees for the year 2022. Our 2021 representative was Dr. Deborah LeBlanc. Board members, do we have any nominations for this vacancy?
What is the responsibility, please?
Dr. Curry.
So each year, the California Community College Trustee Association trustees have their elections for their board. And so someone, Dr. LeBlanc, for the last, I want to say almost 8 or 9 years, she reviews the applications and provide a nomination for the board, a slate for the board to vote on. So she did all the background research on the candidates and brought forward a recommendation for the board.
I'll serve if someone recommends me.
I'm sorry, can you
Dr. Little,
repeat that?
Dr. Little, did you say you wanted it?
I said I will serve if someone
Oh.
recommends me, if there is no one else to do it.
So I'll move the motion for Dr. Little to serve as our, our member, our representative?
No, as the board appointed member to review the nominations.
Yes.
Is that when the people run for office?
Correct. We as a board look at all the resumes, but Dr. LeBlanc back then would give us her top choices. We would review, concur, vote on them, and then send them to the board. Correct.
Okay.
So there
I'll
still needs to
second.
be a,
Second.
I'll second.
okay. Trustee Dopplemore seconded. Do you accept the nomination of yourself, Dr. Little?
I do.
Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call, please?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Trustee Ramos,
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Mm, Item number 9.05, it is recommended the board appoint a secretary to the board for the period of December 15, 2021 through the annual organization meeting in December 2022. Our current secretary is Dr. Keith Curry. Board members,
I
can I
move
get
to
an
appoint
appoint?
Dr. Curry as secretary to the board.
A second.
Can you repeat that again? Sorry, who the first and the second was. I know it's Ramos and then I didn't hear the second.
Little.
Little, Dr. Little, thank you very much. There's no discussion, Ms. Paula, if you could do the roll call.
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Trustee Ramos,
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun,
Aye. Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 10, we have no recognitions. Moving on to item number 11, request to address the Board of Trustees on agenda and non-agenda matters. Pursuant to Board Policy 2350, public participation, this is an opportunity for members of the public to address the Board of Trustees in an open session agenda and non-agenda matters. Consistent with the amendments to the Brown Act, the above notice meeting of the Compton Community College District Board of Trustees shall take place as follows. We do ask the audience to either raise their hand or type in their name in the chat box to provide their public comment. If we have anyone on a phone call, we do ask them to dial *9. Dr. Curry, if you can call out the first, if there is anyone to address.
I see one is Beatra. How about I say the name? Katrina? Got it. I'm going to unmute you. You're unmuted. There you go. Perfect.
Yes, how are you?
There you go. You have the floor.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Curry and the College Board Trustees. My name is Patrina Waller. I'm a citizen of Compton and a graduate of Compton College in 1981. Dr. Curry, you were asked by the trustee Calhoun on the last meeting to research on the specific dates when Emily Hart Holyfield name was put on the Compton Library and why was her name taken down. And you had never addressed that. So the citizens of Compton would like to know why that wasn't addressed.
So the comment, there is no back and forth in responses.
Sorry?
Katrina, I believe you're waiting for a response, but during public comment, there isn't dialogue.
So I have a question. So how will I get that response?
We can most definitely follow back up on that.
What do you mean follow up on it? Will you follow up directly with me or you're not telling me anything?
So what I'm trying to say is in this part of the conversation is usually not where we respond to it. There is another section in the agenda, which is the one following it, in which a directive is given.
So you're
Not
saying
that I'm being
that will be,
evasive, it's just correct.
will be addressed today.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Is
you.
there, no problem. Is there any other names for public comment, Dr. Curry?
I don't see any more hands up or anyone left their name in the chat.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 11.02, Compton Community College District Board of Trustees future agenda items request. Trustee Dopplemore.
I have no future agenda item requests at this time.
Got it. Trustee Ramos.
No requests at this time. Thank you.
Trustee Calhoun.
Yes, please agendize. I would like to see agendize Miss Emily Hart Hollyfield about her name. I'd also like it. I think they're working on it, but I want to bring it up again about labor teaching courses at our college for trade jobs. I think they're working on it, but I need an update on that. And that's it. Thank you.
Dr. Little. And Dr. Curry, if you can follow back up with the public comment that was presented and then the comments provided by Trustee Calhoun. Moving on to item number 12, Board of Trustees meeting minutes, consent items. 12.01, minutes of November 16th, 2021, Board of Trustees meeting. Board members, can I get a motion?
Trustee Lopez, just so you know, you can do all three at once. So I set up as consent.
Oh, great. Thank you for that clarification. Board members, item number 12, Board of Trustees meeting minutes of voting for 12.01, 12.02, 12.03 as a consent agenda item. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
I
Second.
heard,
Second.
thank you. Trustee Calhoun, it's been moved by Trustee Calhoun and seconded by Trustee Ramos. Do we have any discussion, board members? Trustee Dopplemore.
Yes, I do have a question. This is to approve the minutes. Is that correct? Any changes or clarification on those minutes?
If you need them, this is the space where you would ask them. Yes.
Yes, I'm just asking. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
No further discussion.
Got it. Trustee Ramos,
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun,
No discussion.
Dr. Little. All right, see no discussion. Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Abstain?
Trustee Ramos,
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun, Trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little, Dr. Little,
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Can
Thank
you
you.
not hear me, Ms. Paula?
I couldn't.
Okay, I was saying aye continuously. I apologize. I never muted myself, so I don't know why.
No problem. Thank you.
Can I have a point of information, Mr. President?
Yes, Trustee Calhoun.
Going back to when we all accepted our positions, maybe it was me and maybe that's when my mic was not working. When we did, Dr. Curry, did he accept or I didn't hear it? Or was that my problem? I'm sorry.
Yes. No. He did. He can only be our secretary. Yes.
Okay. No, I wasn't sure. Okay. I want us to be a little straight and narrow.
No problem.
Okay. Thank you for the point of information.
Of course. We will move on to item number 13, presentations, 13.01, Compton College Veterans Resource Center. Dr. Curry.
Yeah, so I would like to introduce Keith Cobb, who is our Director of Financial Aid and Scholarships, who also oversees the Veteran Resource Center to provide his yearly presentation on veteran services. And I'm headed over to Keith Cobb.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. I'm Keith, and I'm here to give you an update of the status of where our Veteran Resource Center stands at the moment. Tonight, I'm going to discuss about what the VRC is and what it has to offer, some of the benefits that we offer. We had a fall 2021 celebration in recognition of our vets, and then some of the services and resources. The Veteran Resource Center is a place where our Compton College staff, faculty, and volunteers support the transition, integration, and personal development of student veterans as they move throughout the higher education system and complete their education goals. Some of the benefits that our veterans use at Compton College are the post 9/11 GI Bill, the Montgomery GI Bill, the Reserve GI Bill, and their education benefits. In the fall 2021, we had 8 student veterans that were certified at Compton College to utilize their education benefits. And then out of the 8 students, 2 are currently enrolled for spring 2022. We're actively trying to reach out to these students via email and telephone calls to find out why the remaining 6 have not registered and seeing if they need assistance, but none of them are returning our phone calls or emails at the moment. This past fall, we had a week of events. As you can see, it's a little small, I apologize, to celebrate our vets. There wasn't a good response, a large response to the attendance. We had a lot of staff and faculty attend more than we did students. And it's probably because, the Zoom and the pandemic. Some of the services that we have to offer or that we offer in the Veteran Resource Center is assistance with the campus navigation, the resources and the areas that we have for students like the library and so forth. We help them with their admissions application to if they're going to transfer to the Cal State or the UC system. We help them apply for financial aid and scholarships. We give them more information about the benefits so they can maximize their benefits at Compton and when they're getting ready to transfer. We have academic and personal counseling, and we focus on success and retention by providing different services. In addition, hold it right there, sorry about that. We are in the process of hiring a part-time counselor, and we're looking into hire a part-time counselor specifically for our vets. Some additional services that are offered are career development and advising services, support services focused on academic achievement, emotional support services in the sense of the community, streamlining the GI Bill, and veterans advocacy. Some of the community members, let's take a step back real quick. We just recently, our previous veteran certifying official was Ms. Giselle Gamino. She has left Compton College onto a different job, and we just hired a new person who is certified to be our veterans coordinator and liaison, and her name is Miss Keisha McThirsty. So I've championed her with reaching out to the current vets. So she's the one making phone calls and emailing them. She's only been at Compton for 2 weeks now, so she's still kind of getting her feet wet, but from her previous job, she has experience working with vets. So I've also championed her to reach out to these community members here listed just to start off. And she's calling them and emailing them, introducing herself, who she is, letting them know that Compton is here and we have vets and we want to collaborate with them. So it's still really new for her to reintroduce herself. She is having some trouble with getting in touch with them as well, but we are pushing really hard to get our name out there and let them know that Compton's here and we have vets that need some additional assistance. And that's my presentation.
Thank you very much. Board members, do we have any questions? And I will start with Trustee Ramos.
I guess my question is, how are you finding these veterans? Are they opting in when they apply to the college? Like, how are you gathering that information?
So that's a great question. It's them actually reaching out to us. We have, I believe it's on CC Apply, where they can self-certify that they're a vet. So we're gathering the information from that application as well.
Leave the dog alone, he's thrown up.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Little?
Thank you so much for the report. Just as a quick follow-up to what Trustee Ramos was asking, is there anything in our materials that talks about the added financial opportunities or offerings based upon myriad either veteran status or any other special scholarships that we have? Like, how do we communicate that in multiple platforms?
It's a great question. We're in the process of recreating all our new flyers with information. And we actually have personally reached out to the vets who were enrolled last fall to let them know about the extra resources.
Okay, because I think that there are a lot of organizations, especially those that are trying to combat, for example, homelessness and other financial challenges. And I think it's a very big competitive advantage, especially where we're located. And so whether it be both on our website, in our brochures, I think multiple strategies of conveying that and even partnering, as I know you all have done already, with other veteran groups as, again, part of our outreach and recruitment process in conjunction with this particular group of students or potential students. And so would love to hear as we continue more about those strategies and approaches. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Yes, yes, hello, thank you and welcome, Director Keith Cobbs. I just wanted to ask the number of students, because you said that the 8 students out of 8, you said that only 2 have registered for spring. So the remaining students, or all of the students that were registered for fall, is there a cadence or a set schedule of follow up or check in with the veteran students, say throughout the semester? And you also said that you're trying to reach them currently. So besides the phone calls and mailers and text, is there a possible way to maybe do an in-person visit, or maybe have say like a social throughout the semester to kind of stay connected with the veterans, the veteran students?
Yes, that's very well possible. As soon as, as the state of the campus opens up more, I noted what you've said, and I think that's a great idea.
Thank you.
Trustee Calhoun.
Okay. When this was discussed before, I gave out a lot of information about different veterans organizations, like the veterans organization that is in Gardena, right on Redondo Beach Boulevard, right past Vermont, where that medical center is. I see that you also have AMVETS down here. AMVETS deal with the veterans. AMVETS has a secondhand store that is in Long Beach on South Street across from Winco. They deal a lot with the veterans. I just sent Dr. Curry a flyer to his cell phone about a veteran stand down that is going to be on the 18th in the city of Compton, and it's going to be at 700 North Bullis Road. It's a one-day event. The veterans will be there, right there. And I understand COVID. I understand people not wanting to get out. I understand that you have a new person, and I'm so glad. But we are going to have to do better. There are different veteran centers. There are different veteran centers, like the one that's on Redondo Beach Boulevard. There's one in Long Beach. You got the Long Beach VA. You have the West LA VA. You even have some of the centers where the veterans go to for their injuries and stuff like that. And have you reached out to any of them? Call the two hospitals and let them know what Compton College is offering for the veterans.
As of this moment, we haven't. I've just championed with Miss Keisha McThirsty to relocate or find out the new community members and call and introduce herself. So I'm noting down these places that you're saying, and I'll ensure that she reaches out with them. And I will speak with Dr. Curry and see if we can get involved with a stand down on December 18th.
And then, you also have the bases. There's a base in El Segundo, right? Way down there. There's a base in El Segundo. There's a base in, is it Los Alamitos?
Yes, ma'am. Los Alamitos is and the one in El Segundo was the Air Force Base.
Yes. And so these are other, just because they're on the base don't mean that they might not want to further their education. So we have to do a more reaching out to a lot of those facilities for even the reserves, even the ones that are in the reserves for the service, National Guards, all of them. So those might be some other more avenues for you, Mr. Khan, for you to use. Okay. And congratulations on hiring a new person to assist you with your staff. Thank you so much. And thank you for this report.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to some of the points that were made by Trustee Calhoun, I think probably also just for resources to our students that we already have, considering connecting with some of the commissioners in the county level to see what resources they may offer and actually have it be another avenue. I know there's a couple events going on, but they themselves are veterans. And given that we are in the 2nd district, have close ties to the area, or not just necessarily even focusing in the 2nd district commissioners, but just for the whole board, and seeing who they work with, what services they want to offer, and what area of expertise they bring to the table.
Yes, and to piggyback on that, the assembly person, Mike Gibson, the Senator Steve Bradford, our Congresswoman Nanette Barragan, they all do services along with our supervisor, Holly Mitchell. They all have programs for veterans, how they help veterans with their housing and their bills and everything. So you can reach out to them, like President Sonia Lopez said, and see which deputy is over that. And you could have a relationship with them to let them know that what we offer at Compton College for the veterans.
If I may add, I think for our supervisors, just the Deputy for Health and Human Services, And also, I think there are many workforce initiatives and for veterans that some are tied and some are not tied to education, but many employers will pay for veterans education, even if it's CEUs or units. And so if we can think about strategically becoming a partner with some of the bigger employers who hire veterans, and I think the supervisorial and Senator Bradford's office and Assemblyman Gibson's office may have some of those connections, because minimally we want Compton College as on any list of options that they are already communicating to the veterans. And then secondarily, we could work in conjunction with some sort of career and academic fair held on campus when we come back, or virtually, where we get all of, different organizations, like we're doing our community events, and have one targeted specifically to veterans. I would be happy to host or co-host such a virtual event. And again, bring in even employers who are seeking to do that, and we can couple up. So I just wanted to add on.
Thank you.
Chair Lopez, I have another comment, please, or a resource to provide on to Mr. Cobb. Is she here?
I mean, I can hear you, but
okay.
I was muted. Yes,
Oh, okay,
yes,
you were
please
muted.
go.
Okay, woo. Okay, Mr. Cobb, I would say if you could just Google, this is like another resource. This is more at the county level, but it's VPAN. So if you could just look up VPAN, and then there is, of course, regional resource officers that also because it's actually broken down into different regions. So you can find the region officer that is aligned to our region. But if you just Google VPAN, and you can look them up on the internet and see the additional services and programs, they could also be a great source to you to identify, veterans that are interested in pursuing their education as well.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your presentation. It is appreciated, Mr. Cobb.
Hold on, Dr. Little, President Lopez. Dr. Little, I think that's a very good idea about partnering up and having something at Compton College where we get those businesses. And if you decide to do that, I would really like to work with you, because I used to do the veteran stand down in Compton, and I can reach out to a lot of those organizations that do assist with veterans. So if you decide to do that, let me know. I would love to work with you on it.
Thank you. And I think our new trustee would probably be quite interested personally as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because she's a veteran.
Along with Trustee Ramos.
Right. Oh, that's
Well,
right.
I didn't know
Sure.
about Trustee Ramos, so I think we have it lock, stock, and barrel. Thank you both
Yes.
for your service.
Yes, thank you so very much, Trustee Little.
Yes.
No problem. Moving on to item number 14.01, reports from representatives of employee organizations. 14.01, Associated Student Government Report. Stephanie Leonor del Cid.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Compton College colleagues, and our guests. My name is Stephanie Leonor del Cid, and I serve as the ASU president for the 2021-2022 academic year. I am here today to provide the ASU report for December. First, the Associated Student Government and the Office of Student Development, OSD, hosted the holiday bingo celebration on Wednesday, December 1st via Zoom. We thank all the students that joined us and hope everyone enjoy a moment of fun and their gift cards. Second, the ASG met with the Master Review Committee on December 3rd to create a survey to collect feedback from students, employees, community members, alumni, athletics, etc. This recommendation will be due to the President and CEO by June 1st, 2022. Third, the ASG, in partnership with Compton College, the Office of Student Development, and Stack Pasta, continue this series of free food for the month of December. On December 7th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., a food truck located at Lot A of Compton Colleges was offering free meals to current students. Fourth, the ASG received their Compton College gear from our Compton store and is now able to act as ambassadors and represent our college with their beautiful gear. Fifth, ASG has worked tirelessly to recruit a student trustee for the vacancy. We have conducted several interviews and in hopes that for the next semester, we can have the position fulfilled. We appreciate the efforts and the interest that the campus has for such. Sixth, the ASG has scheduled our winter retreat on February 1st. We will be joined by Eli's strength coach, and we will be focusing on our upcoming semester and event. Lastly, the ASG made a donation of $1,000 for a toy drive that was hosted by the CARE program in partnership with Dr. Kristen Alridge. We appreciate the hard work of our students during this entire semester during our COVID reality and hope their finals went well. We want to wish you all a happy holiday and are excited for the work we will do for our upcoming semester. This will conclude the ASG report for December. Thank you all and have a great evening.
Thank you very much for your report. Moving on to item 4.02, Academic Senate Report, Dr. Minazora Maldivia. And I'm trying to, Dr. Curry, if you can help highlight, I thought I saw. You're muted if you're talking.
She's not here. I don't see her on the call.
Okay. Moving on to 14.03, CCCFE Certified Employees Report, Holly Schumacher. Do you see her on the call?
She's not here either.
All right. Moving on to 14.04, CCFE Classified Employees Report, Aminqua McKenzie. Is he on the call?
No, he's not.
All right. Moving on to item number 15, consent agenda item. Board members, do we have a motion?
So move.
Okay, second.
It has been moved by trustee Ramos and seconded by trustee Calhoun. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos?
Yes, I just
Can you give me the numbers and then I'll come back to you.
15.07.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All right. Dr. Little?
I'm sorry, I was unmuting.
Under consent agenda, is there any numbers that you want to discuss?
No, I don't have any specific requests because I think all of these are based upon service. No, thank you.
All right. Trustee Dopplemore?
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun?
Yes.
I'm gonna let you answer because you already know what I was gonna say, but yes.
You guys are great leadership here.
Yes. So you already know what I was going to say. So okay. Everybody has received the questions that I asked Dr. Curry under the 1500 series. And everybody has seen the answers that Dr. Curry has given. So I don't have to pull them, but you want the numbers? You want me to give you the numbers?
If you want to have them talked about, you can. If you just want Dr. Curry, if they want to have the specific elaborate, I think Dr. Curry has shared in the chat room. It's really up to you what you want to pull as a discussion.
No. If I do anything, somebody already did 1507, and that was Andreas.
Okay.
So
right.
Yeah.
Trustee Ramos, 15.07.
Yeah. My question was, my understanding is we don't currently have an EMT program, and I see the dates listed. Is there a timeline for when we expect it to be accredited? Because I just feel like 2025, it's kind of far from now.
2025 is the term of the contract with this firm to provide the service. but Sherry Berger can provide more information in regards to our accreditation and our status to become accredited.
We
And
are
that-
currently working on drafting our application for certification and hope to have it submitted during the spring semester, by the end of the spring semester, I should say, and then hope to have it information back after that, however long that takes from the state.
Okay, thank you.
And just to add, Trustee Lopez, for one of the questions from Trustee Calhoun was regards to the MLM service, and will we have contract with other vendors as well, our other partnerships? And as my response to Trustee Calhoun is similar to what we did with nursing, we will also look out for local partners as well. So we'll reach out to the city of Compton, to some other MLM services. There's another one too that's in Compton as well, to reach out to them and part of partnership. And so we'll bring more information that in January.
Trustee Lopez, if we had questions about this as well, both Trustee Calhoun and myself, can we have an opportunity or no?
Yes, I believe Trustee Calhoun presented it to Dr. Curry already and received a response. So if there's anything additional, I'll pivot to you first and then I'll pivot to Trustee Calhoun.
Okay, yes, just as a follow-up, Dr. Berger, if you can maybe give us a timeline, if accredited or if our application, when would be the earliest we would be able to offer this? And how will it work in tandem with our current nursing program, as many of these certifications work in tandem or as a way of outreach? And these could be future answer questions. And then I'm wondering if there are any of the schools in our districts, Linwood, Paramount, and Compton, that have any kind of health or medical track that we've reached out to begin communicating to them about this potential offering.
So Trustee Dr. Little, one of the things I have in my notes, which I think would be helpful, is that I got my notes before you even mentioned it, is that we would draft a timeline document for the board to be able to have that. Regards to the program, when will it start, the logistics, recruitment, and all that. But then to add to that, we will also provide another board letter regards to the allied health programs and what's being offered by the college, what's being offered to K-12 districts, and is there some connection for some new partnerships because of that. And that ties into our Compton 2024 plan regards to allied health.
And I don't know how far back we have archival information here from Compton College, but as a student at Compton High School in the early 80s, as I indicated before, there were several districts who participated in a program called MedCorps, where we all came all the way from Palos Verdes over through Compton, through Carson, Lakewood. We came to Compton College, took our math, English, and science classes, and would return back to our respective high schools 4 days a week. And both with the exposure to whether it was nursing, many wanted to pursue medical careers, broadly defined. We worked at the local hospitals. We cultivated certifications. I personally did a certified nurse's assistant because of the hours. And it was a great way as a recruitment strategy. And so I don't know if those models or templates or strategies or communications still exist in the history, but I really think that it would be insightful now that we have formalized dual enrollment to really think about how we can leverage such a model with Compton College as the anchor. Because there were other community colleges obviously in the area, but Compton College was chosen in big part to the excellent allied health offerings and its logistic access to those schools. So I would just recommend some kind of way of finding, if we can find out that historical information, it would be helpful.
We will look into it.
Board members, any additional comments or concerns before we move on?
Yes, Chair Lopez, this is I'm Trustee Dopplemore. As Dr. Little was speaking, is there a way that we could possibly reach out to the folks at the King Drew Hospital, the medical school that is in very close proximity as well, just to get to see if there are maybe students at the local K through 12 schools, at some of the students in the surrounding area that are interested in this particular program as well, that we can use as a recruitment strategy. And then that way build interest. And then when we are ready to begin the first cohort on this, we would have an idea possibly of the number or the percentage of interest in the program. And that's just my comment. Thank you.
Okay. And seeing no further comments or discussion, Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
trustee Ramos,
Aye.
trustee Calhoun, trustee Calhoun,
Aye. Can you hear me, Ms. Paula?
Yep.
yes, now I can. Dr. Little,
Aye.
trustee Lopez,
Aye.
thank you.
Moving on to item number 16, action items. Before we individually go to each one, because I know this is always the question, is there any that we can group? Dr.
yes.
Curry?
Trustee Lopez, the first one, I don't think you grouped that one, but the ones that can't be grouped are item number 16.04 through 16.11, 16.02 and 16.03 need to be separate because the board policy regards to budget augmentation and transfers. And then the board trustees regular scheduled meeting dates, you have to decide which days you want for the board meetings. So I think 16.01, 16.02, 16.03 should be separate, but 16.04 through 16.011 could be done combined.
Board members, Dr. Curry, I'll just reiterate what Dr. Curry has stated. We can individually vote on 16.01, 16.02, and 16.03. But if you do want to group some of them, I would need a motion to vote on 16.04 through 16.11 to vote as one, and then individually vote on the others. If not, we can take each one by one.
I move to group 16.04 through 16.11 and to independently discuss 16.01, 16.02, and 16.03.
Second.
All right. There's been a motion to group vote 16.04 through 16.11 by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Ramos. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos.
No discussion.
Dr. Little.
No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore.
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
See no discussion, Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
trustee Ramos,
Aye.
trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
trustee Lopez,
Aye.
thank you.
Board members, moving to 16.01, Board of Trustees regularly scheduled meeting dates for 2022. Can I get a motion?
So move.
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Calhoun. I will open it actually, if someone could withdraw that because we need to have a conversation. There isn't a motion just yet. I apologize.
So
I recall my motion.
Thank you.
Recall my second.
I appreciate that. Board members, on 16.01, Board of Trustees regularly scheduled meeting dates for 2022, Dr. Curry has provided a couple of options. I believe in the year 2020 or 2019, I can't recall, there was debate on changing days and times. And so he has provided Monday options, Tuesday options, Wednesday options, and Thursday options. And so I open it before the board to have a discussion on how we would like to proceed via a motion or just discussion. Trustee Calhoun, I see you on. Yes.
So,
No?
so is it discussion or motion?
We can discuss, but if there's a consensus at some point, we do need a motion to make a vote on how
Okay.
we want to proceed. Yes.
All right. Well, I looked at everything and I kind of like Thursdays. Mondays are like the day after the weekend, and Wednesdays are very busy. I forgot the other day. What was the other one? This is just my opinion.
Remaining Tuesdays as is. Got it.
Yeah, and Tuesdays sometimes just don't work for everybody. I don't know about everybody else's schedule, but I looked at everything and I kind of like Thursdays. So I don't know what everybody else think.
I see Dr. Little's hand up.
Thank you. And I think that there's an argument for any day. While it is very difficult for Mondays, I actually was thinking on Mondays for a couple of reasons. One, it's at the early part of the week and it allows for any business that needs to be done or adjustments that needs to be had. While I recognize Thursday is a great day and we will choose across the board, I was thinking earlier in the week. I think it also is responsive to the community's ask over different times about not having, as best we can, conflicts with some of the city council meetings. We know that there can be meetings on all 4 days outside of Friday. And so that's just another option on the table.
Oh, I understand. Mondays do not work for me at all. I no disrespect, and we all get our say. Mondays just don't work for me at all. So, but I will have to go with what the board says, and that's fine with me. But Mondays don't work for me.
I want to hear from Trustee Ramos and Trustee Doppelmore.
My preference is to change it to Monday or Wednesday. Those work best for me. I think Thursday is the most difficult one, but yeah. So it would either be Monday, Wednesday, and third would be Tuesday.
Trustee Doppelmore?
So yeah, I mean, I agree with, every, day it's not gonna work for someone. But the day that I like for myself, it would be Tuesday, and I would opt for a Monday earlier during the week as well, just to kind of get it out of the way.
I'm sorry, is there a date that your preference?
Just the Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday, got it. Monday or, I didn't look at Wednesday dates, but I think my preference may be Monday, Thursday, Wednesday to support some of that. But in addition, just based on a previous conversation, to also have in the loop, in addition to changing the day, is the closed session and the pushback of the meeting. I know that was something that was brought up earlier as well, and I want to have that conversation in this space as well, in addition to changing the date, if there is a pushback on the start time, and changing the closed session to have it in conjunction, so that we would, if there is a motion or a consensus, to kind of find a loop to mention it all at once as well. And Dr. Little, I don't know if that's a new hand or the same hand.
It was a same and new. It was about the time. That was the question that I was going to ask, and you just raised it. And so I think the day we need to discuss, obviously, and determine. I think I do, though, have a recommendation on the time. I think it is very difficult the 4 o'clock start time for various reasons. And when we think about the public and when we do go back, and then many people work. And if once, especially we go back, you're talking about commuting to be at a space for 4, that's really a 3 o'clock minimally leave from work. So my recommendation to put on the table for consideration is to move the start time of whatever we decide to do, because there are a couple of options, to 5 o'clock. I would recommend that we go to 5 to 6 for the closed session, with the option of, if we have remaining business, to re-pick up at the end of the formal board meeting that would begin at 6 or near after 6 p.m. With that option, I would not recommend starting the closed session after the regular board meeting, because I think that is just too open. So my recommendation would be moving back the start time to 5 p.m. for the closed session for 1 hour, as close as possible to a 6 p.m. Community beginning meeting. And then if there is extra business on those nights that there's extra business, to resume the closed session at whatever time the formal business meeting ended, with obviously reporting out of whatever closed session business we would take care of following the business meeting.
So I want to hear from the other trustees. So Trustee Ramos?
I think with whatever day we decide on, I think the time should be moved back an hour later. So closed session beginning at 5 and open session at 6. And if needed, we continue closed session after open session if needed.
Trustee Doppelmore?
I would agree with pushing the start time back at 5 with whatever date is chosen as well.
Trustee Cajon?
I like 5 to 6. I think that gives us more time to finish out closed session instead of just 30 minutes. I think that hour would be very good, from 5 to 6.
Okay, so I think we have a consensus on the time.
Mhm.
So I want to bring back the conversation to the date. So if I heard everyone's feedback, I believe 4 people said a Monday was a preference, 3 was Thursday, and 2 were Wednesday. So I want to bring it back so we can talk about the days, so we can have a consensus so that a motion can be put forward.
I'm
Lopez, I
open.
have a question. So
Yes.
so just with the day, would it be, say like this, like, for example, like the 3rd Wednesday of the month? Would that also?
So all of the days are already in the attachment. So if you look at item 16.01, the days for whatever date is said scheduled, the meetings have been preset. So you would click on.
Oh, so I see it. I see it.
Yes. So you gave Wednesdays as an example. You just would click on the PDF that says Wednesday. So all the dates
Okay,
are already
so all the dates for Wednesday.
correct.
Trustee Lopez, can we do a straw vote by day to start with, where everyone has to choose like only vote once for Monday through Thursday, and see what we come up with, and then after that, if we need to make some adjustments, just to kind of see where we are, because I know many people gave
Like
multiple options.
Survey, if not, because a vote would be a motion and then pushing it forward.
No, not
I
a
was just
vote.
thinking.
I was saying a straw survey then.
Yeah.
what is your number one top priority day? And then see where we are with that. And then, because I think we all offered more than one day. So if we all
Yeah,
had to
so-
choose their most chosen day.
So I would probably use the example that Trustee Ramos gave. He gave his top three, which were Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday in that order. So I kind of paid attention to how everybody was saying it, but if everybody wants to repeat it again, and I can make that note.
I will give them my prioritized order because I didn't give a prioritized order. I just gave options.
Okay.
So my prioritized order would be Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday.
Okay. Trustee Ramos, does yours change?
No, I think I said Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday. But I'm still open to Thursday. But yes, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday.
Got it. Trustee Dopplemore?
It's funny. Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday.
Trustee Calhoun?
Thursday, and Thursday. The reason we didn't do Tuesday because we are receiving complaints that the citizens want the council meeting, city council meetings on Tuesday, school board is on Tuesday. And so they were looking for some people to change. So that's why I wouldn't pick Tuesday.
Okay.
Wednesday is the middle of the week.
Mhm.
Although Tuesday is too, but Wednesday is the middle of the week. And the only thing, and so that's why I'm just single-minded on Thursday. So if I had to do it, I would say Thursday. Although Mondays are really, really bad for me, they really are. I'll just have to be on 2 Zooms on Monday. And if you don't get my vote, if you understand, it's okay. I just have to be on 2 Zooms, one.
Wednesday is good for them.
And so Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, is during the middle of the week. And I think that's the busiest week for not only staff and faculty, but I also think Dr. Curry. But he can say what he is, I guess. Not that he gets a vote, I'm just saying. Recommendation, but yeah. So I'm just gonna do Monday and Thursday.
Monday.
I can't do. Yeah, can't do the other ones.
Monday and Thursday are the 2 days that you're offering, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Chair Lopez,
Yes.
I would like to switch. I'll do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Monday. After
Got it.
more insight from Trustee Calhoun on the day of Tuesday.
So the winner is still Monday? It kind of,
Monday?
that's the day that with the most. It's Monday or
It's Monday or Wednesday. It seems like
yeah,
the two
Monday
primary dates.
Monday or Wednesday are the runner-ups at the moment.
I think we should revote on that based upon what Trustee Calhoun said as well.
Mhm.
We have been having, it's conflicted on Tuesdays, right? Because of not only the city of Compton, but also the city of Paramount. They have their city council meetings. And I was just looking up Linwood. I think they're on the 2nd and 4th Mondays. So if we choose a Monday, we should not go up against on the 2nd or 4th. And I'm sorry, I just don't have the dates in front of me, and we may not be. I'm just putting it out there so that we can be consistent as we consider the different cities. So,
Dr. Curry, can you confirm on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they're the 3rd or
They're the 3rd. However, a couple of times because of the holidays, I had to move it to the 4th. And so I think it's just January, February where we have that issue.
Wait a minute, let me confirm the city of Linwood because it's some discrepancy
I
there.
included city. We researched it last week. I included their information in board docs.
Okay. Do you remember what day of the week this is?
There's the 2nd and 4th.
On Mondays.
Yes.
Okay, so. Okay, so Monday is still an option. So maybe we do another vote now, which is Monday and Wednesdays. Sounds like what we're coming to.
So if Monday and Wednesday are the only two options, then I think if you can give me your first and your second, and then from there we can do a motion.
Can-
So I'll start from, yes,
Can,
Trustee Carlton.
can I ask Dr. Curry a question?
Yes.
Madam President?
Mhm.
Dr. Curry, I'm just asking, Dr. Curry. I know that you don't get a vote. I got that. We will vote as a board. But I'm just saying Wednesdays are in the middle of the week. Is that the busiest day when the college has things going on as far as faculty and the meetings? I'm just asking.
Mhm.
So my thoughts on this question is this. I think Wednesdays are problematic for board to be able to publish an agenda. So that means we're publishing an agenda on a Saturday or a Saturday to make sure we meet the 72-hour requirements. So if I look at it from right now, this meeting for this Wednesday, where I was able to post it on Sunday, which was fine, and that worked out well. One thing that I look at the options, the Monday one works for the district and the staff. That means we have to post agenda on Thursdays before 5 o'clock, which on Fridays before 5 o'clock, which is easy to do and that's possible. I don't prefer Wednesdays, and then Thursdays is intriguing because of the fact that we can post agenda on that Monday and we can go over the agenda with our constituent groups on that Monday, and they have a couple of days to be able to digest it and have a conversation rather than just be sitting on that Monday night. So that's where my thoughts are. But I think we could do Mondays or Thursdays. But I prefer Mondays or Thursday over Wednesday.
Board members, with that information, I'm going to ask you again for your first and your second, so that we can move forward and bring a motion. So I'll start off with Trustee Ramos.
I'll change it to Monday and I guess Thursday. That's it. Monday's my number one and Thursday's second.
Dr. Little?
The same, but they are equally the same. And the time is 5 o'clock, starting closing.
I believe we have a consensus on the time. It's the date that I'm trying to nail it down. And so Trustee Doppelmore.
I would say the same. It would be Monday and Thursday, and this is because of the Tuesday running conflict with the community and with the posting of the 72 hours, Wednesday being a challenge as well. So my vote would be for Monday and Thursday.
Trustee Calhoun?
Thursday, but if Monday is chosen, like I said, I don't mind. I'll be on 2 Zooms. I'll do, I'll also say Monday and Thursday. I just have to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that I'll be on 2 Zooms on that day that we meet. That's fine. We're gonna come together on this. We're gonna come together.
Yeah, I think if
if
we can make the most reasonable for any of the trustees,
Yeah.
and we're equal on the Monday and Thursdays, my only question would be, I heard you, Dr. Curry, about the 72 hours, so that would be Monday, and the constituencies having time.
Mm.
And so I do think we don't want to inadvertently create any barriers to access or understanding. So it's not to make the decision for us, but is there a way? I just want to clarify what I heard in terms of efficiencies for the stakeholders. of those 2 days, is there one that would be less, not restrictive, but you understand what I'm asking?
I think that if you look at it, and as I said a little bit earlier, is I think the Mondays and the Thursdays work for the district. The Mondays, all it means for us with staff is making sure the agenda is posted by 5 o'clock on Friday, but then also making sure that when we meet with our constituent groups on that Monday, we answer any of the questions they might have before the board meeting. So usually they get an extra day for that Tuesday. They will no longer have that extra day, but we can work through that by sending them the agenda and then doing some type of follow-up with them prior to the meeting on Monday. So that can work. The
Would
reason why
that
I'm
be
treating
avoided on Thursdays?
Huh?
Would that be avoided if we went to Thursdays?
Yeah, I think it could be avoided. I think that gives them more time to review. However, if you look at the schedule that we have on Thursdays, we have a lot of events that happen Thursdays. Thursday evening, you also have other meetings that are happening throughout the semester. So I think some people might be concerned about a Thursday night for a board meeting. So my recommendation would probably be at this stage of the conversation is for the board to move forward with Mondays at 5 for closed session, 6 o'clock for open session, and continue to study what the Thursday might look like. And then we can go back to constituent groups and talk to them a little bit more about the schedule and the future schedule, and maybe have some more conversations with them.
Just for clarification, Trustee Lopez and Dr. Curry, do we have to mandate the same day of the week for the entire year?
No, you don't. But for consistency, you want to make sure people know that where your meeting's going to be scheduled. But hypothetical, you could say that for the first and every other month, it could be on a Monday, and then the next month could be on a Thursday. So you could rotate that as well.
Or for 6 months on Monday, second 6 months. So we have those options.
You have that flexibility, but it has to be a part of the regular schedule.
Right.
I have a question, Madam President. Dr. Curry, you say if we choose Monday, you will post it when?
I posted 72 hours before, so that's Friday. So it'd be posted by Friday at 5.
Like you normally do, right? You normally post it on Friday, right?
Yeah, but I posted late Friday because the 72-hour requirement is on that Saturday. So I have a little bit more time. That's the reason why I posted on Friday late.
So if you posted it a little early on, well, since I turned in my questions, Dr. Curry, I can do my questions on that Sunday, even though your staff won't get them to that Monday.
Yeah.
I could I could set my agenda to make sure that I do the board docs and that you get my questions on Sunday, and you could forward them to your staff that's going to answer the questions either Monday or that Sunday, and
Correct.
You can give us the answers by 3. Well, the meeting's going to start at 5, so that still gives you enough time, correct?
Correct. And what I could do, just so to make it better for the board, because it's a different style, is that we can push when we do our calendar, we'll push to have the board agenda posted by Thursday to give the board members more time.
Then I'll vote with all of you ladies and gentlemen for Monday, if you so choose Monday. I will stick with Monday with you ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be supportive of the Monday, and then I guess then my asterisk would be to attempt to post that Thursday to give that working business day, Friday, for anyone to be able to review the agenda. And I know that doesn't just rely on you, Dr. Kerr, because many people work on the agenda, but I think that would be my ask and my push if we do push it to Monday, to have it available and posted, even if it's late Thursday, but to have it accessible.
So that'll be a part of the timeline. So I have no problems doing that.
Right. So you need a motion, Madam President?
And to remind folks, the board members, the motion would include the time change in addition to the date changes. So yes, I do the motion.
I would like to make a motion that we change our board meeting starting in next year to a Monday, and the time for the closed session is from 5 to 6, with the regular meeting starting after 6. Is that it? I did it.
I will second that if Trustee Calhoun, if you can just add the piece of if there's a need to conclude closed session, that we will do it following the open session when we need it.
Okay, that can be added. So I add that to my motion. Thank you, Dr. Little. Woo, woo.
I second Trustee Calhoun's motion.
And I thank you so much. So we have them, and I want to make sure that I got that correctly just for Ms. Paula. We, starting the year 2022 in January, the motion is to have board meetings on Monday. Closed session to begin at 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock to end. Have our board meeting start at 6 o'clock. And if closed session needs to be reconvened following the board meeting, it would take place.
That is correct.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Paul, so we have a first and a second. Any discussions? I'll open it up to Trustee Ramos.
No discussion.
Dr. Little.
No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore.
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
Seeing no discussion, Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Is that the third Monday? That'll be the third Monday, correct?
Correct.
but
So
the
we
first
would
one
be,
will be
we would be adopting the Mondays in the attachment in item 16.01 that has the board dates 2022 Mondays. That's what we're adopting.
It's like the fourth Monday. That's what it's coming out to be.
It's the fourth Monday because of the holiday for January and
Holiday.
February.
So the first Monday is the fourth Monday because of the holiday. The same with February, but then March through the remainder is considered the third, correct?
Correct.
Got it. Ms. Paula, the roll call.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Aye.
Trustee Ramos.
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun.
Aye.
Dr. Little.
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Trustee
Thank you.
Lopez, one thing about this item is that the last part is we need to know from the board when to schedule your retreat that was supposed to happen this past weekend, but we moved it back to the winter of 2022. And so I just need a recommendation from the board for when you want to hold that retreat. I did talk to Dr. Benjamin, who's on the call. She's not available on, she's available on February 26th, January 15th, and January 22nd.
January 18.
January 15th, January 22nd, and February 26th.
Board members, this is a discussion item. Before we take any action, we have postponed our December board retreat to make sure that we had a full board. And the discussion at the moment is what date works best to host our board retreat. The 3 dates that have been offered based on availability of our moderator, Dr. Benjamin, will be on January 15th, January 22nd, February 26th. To remind everyone, the time frame of the retreat is 9 to noon. Unless we're asking for a change as well. So board members, I will start with Trustee Ramos if there is a date preference and a time.
I'm open to all except the 22nd. I cannot make the 22nd.
Got it. So just January 15th and February 26th.
Yes.
Dr. Little?
Yes, I think January 15th is too close coming back and that we will not have had a board meeting yet. And I think it will give us a little bit more time both to, as a full board, have another meeting in place, possibly a third, I don't know, because I'm not looking at all the other dates. So I would vote for February 26th.
Got it. And then trustee Dopplemore?
Can you repeat the second date? I have January 15th and February 26th, but what was the second date?
January 22nd.
I would also, February 26th would be my vote.
Trustee Calhoun?
My vote 15 does not work for me at all. Sorry about that. And so Ramos said the 22nd is not good for him, so I won't pick that day. So how about, will February the 26th work for Andreas? Trustee Ramos, will it work for Trustee Ramos?
Yes, he did give that as one of the options.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go for the 26th.
So then I'll echo the same sentiments that trustee Calhoun presented, and I'll select February 26th as a time. I want no one as a date. No one's mentioned anything about the time, so I'm going to safely assume that the time frame of 9 to 12 will work for everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Unless we run over, I think we've always done it from 9 to 12, unless we run over.
And Chair Lopez, may I ask before we go to a vote, may I ask just for clarification, and where would this retreat take place? If you have a date.
So the platform would be the next question as well for the board members. So no, you're good. We weren't ready for the board members. My next question would be, are we asking this to remain virtual, or we're asking this to be in person? And so I'll start off with trustee Ramos.
That's complicated, but I my preference is for virtual, but I'm open to in person.
Okay, Little?
Same. I'm open to either way. I think we got a lot done virtually. I'm open either way though, but if it's just for us, I think virtually it just gives more access. So yeah.
Trustee Dopplemore?
I'm open to virtual and or in person.
And trustee Calhoun?
I'm in person.
All right, so everybody heard everyone's choices. So I do need a motion. In that motion, a date, a time, and a platform will need to be listed.
Excuse me, trustee Lopez.
Yes.
If we do in person, will we have opportunity to have options of locations?
On camp with Dr. Curry?
Yeah, you have the option to have it on campus for in person. Or if you want to have it off campus, you have to have it off campus. You have to notice the meeting. My recommendation to the board is to accept the February 28th date from 9 to 12.
26.
February 26th, sorry, and make it a hybrid. So that means similar to what your conversation was earlier, regards to the model. So then that means if people want to be on campus, they can, but it'd be happening through Zoom for individuals that cannot be, and then also for our presenter as well. So I think the hybrid model would work, where you still follow the rules of 361, but you're making it available by Zoom, and it still be done remote as well.
I do not want to come to the college. I don't think that we always have to have our retreat at the college. That's just my opinion. I mean, if I'm outvoted, we don't always have to have it at the college. We need to get off the college.
And what I said, Trustee Calhoun, is that if the board wants to have an offsite location, we have to put that as a part of the notice.
Okay, that's why I'm putting it in there.
But I also think that regards to the remote, that means if you do it off-site, then we have to figure out the Zoom situation, because our campus is more set up to be able to have a hybrid model for the public to participate. And so we will have to figure that out as well. I'm not saying we can't do it. That's just something else that we have to figure out.
Got it. So board members, we have all our options. So I do need a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we have our board retreat on February the 26th, which is a Saturday, from 9 to 12. And I would really like to see it off the campus.
And a hybrid off-campus meeting?
David is great with electronics.
Yeah, that's why I say hybrid off-campus meeting. Hybrid so that it could be in person or virtual is what I'm just adding to your motion.
Yes, yes, I'm sorry, yes,
Hybrid off-campus.
yes.
So can I
There's a
make a
motion on the, there's
Can I make a recommendation,
yes.
Trustee Lopez? So maybe if the board decides today to have the retreat on February 26th from 9 to 12 with the hybrid model, and then let me go back to work with staff to figure out the logistics and come back at the next board meeting with the recommendation of a potential location and all that, because I don't feel comfortable recommending off campus if we don't have a location first. And I think I need to bring the location, then also make sure we can set it up the way that we need to set up for a board meeting. I want to make sure we have enough time. So the board just give me direction to say February 28th, February 26th, from 9 to 12, hybrid model, and we'd like to have it off campus. Please come up with the recommendation at the next board meeting that I could do that.
So what if I just, instead of saying that, we can just say a hybrid meeting with the option of on or off campus, and you still have to come back to us and present options and we make that choice.
I second that motion that Trustee Calhoun said with the qualification or clarification that Trustee Lopez just indicated.
So I just want to make sure, I know you seconded, but I just wanted to,
Yes, I second
Go back
exactly
to-
what Trustee Calhoun said.
I want to make sure that the author is under, I made an edit to her motion just by word. So I'm going back to the author before you second, before your second.
Okay, what did you add, Madam President?
So Dr. Curry was suggesting that we just state, let's have a meeting and then he'll come back to us. Instead of doing that, I was suggesting that we can include the verbiage to say on or off campus, and he still would have to come to our board and present us those options of off campus. And if we don't come to a consensus, we can fall back to on campus because our motion gave us that flexibility for either on or off.
Okay, I'll accept that.
I second.
All right, there is a motion on the floor. It's been first and seconded. Any discussion, Trustee Ramos?
No discussion.
Dr. Little?
Absolutely no discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore?
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun?
No discussion.
Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Trustee Ramos,
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun. Trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr.
Can you
Little,
guys hear me?
It sounded very far, that's why.
Oh, okay.
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to 16.02, Administrative Services of Compton Community College District, Resolution number 1215, 2021C, Budget Augmentations for Fiscal Years 2021, 2022. Board members, can I get a motion?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved by Trustee Ramos and seconded by Dr. Little. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos?
No discussion.
Dr. Little?
None. No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore?
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun? You're muted if you're speaking to me.
Are we 16?
0.02, yes, discussion.
Oh, no discussion, no discussion.
Seeing no discussion, Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Trustee Ramos,
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on to 16.03, Administrative Services of Compton Community College District Resolution 1215-2021D, budget transfers for the fiscal years 2021, 2022. Board members, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Calhoun, seconded by Dr. Little. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos,
No discussion.
Dr. Little,
No discussion.
trustee Dopplemore,
No discussion.
trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
See no discussion, Ms. Paula, can you do the roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Dopplemore,
Dopplemore's aye.
trustee Ramos,
Aye.
trustee Calhoun,
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on to 17.01, California Community Colleges Trustee Fellowship Intercession Project. Dr. Curry, for your update.
So what happened at the last board meeting, you received the updated regards to our data that was provided by Tina Cooperman. And so today we invited Dr. Stella Bensimo to come back to talk about the study that USC did for us through the Center for Urban Education regards to our faculty administrative hiring. And so what Dr. Bensimo is going to talk about the report again, which was included in your packet and their presentation. And then at your retreat, we'll go in depth regards to the next steps. So this is more of the history and the providing more information to the board as we delve into the procedures for hiring of faculty and also administrators. Dr. Bensimo.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to meet with you again and to share the report that we wrote, March 3rd, 2020, right before the, I think we were already in the pandemic when we presented it. So thank you, President Curry. I'll start with an overview. So for those of you who were not with us last time that we presented, we conducted interviews with faculty as well as administrative leaders to find out, to learn how you do faculty searches for faculty. And we also reviewed documents, and we also held an institute. And so I'm going to talk about some of our findings today, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. So we can move on to the next one. So here is the timeline. Actually, we started out in August of 2019. And in addition to the interviews, as well as the hiring institute that we held, we were able to observe 3 meetings of a hiring committee. I'll go on to the next slide. Thank you. So one of the things that emerged in our observations and in our interviews was some of the issues related to Compton, having been a historically Black institution here in Los Angeles, and now transitioning to a Hispanic serving institution, and concerns regarding changing priorities. And I'll say more about that as we move on to the findings. So we provided a variety of recommendations, which one is readings that are provided in the report. We also recommended that there be changes in the position, in the way that you write up the announcement of faculty positions, and speak more directly to what Compton College is about, who your students are, and so that applicants can speak to what their experiences are that are aligned with what your institution is about. So if you look at the job, I don't know what has happened since we were there, but I just did quickly a search for job announcements. And a lot of times they don't mention, for instance, that Compton College has a student body that is essentially 60% Latinx, and I believe 25% or more, maybe it's 35%, I can't remember, African American, and yes, 35%, and that white students, I believe, are less than 5%. So rather than describing the college as a very diverse institution, it would be important to say, hey, we are a Black and Latinx institution. We also recommended that search committees be given data by race and ethnicity of the current faculty composition, so that you can understand what the current diversity of the faculty is, not only in terms of race and ethnicity, but also probably in terms of other characteristics. We think it's important that as a goal, that you start thinking about having a faculty body that is more reflective of who the students are. And as I said, your students are 60% Latinx and 35% African American. And I don't think that your faculty statistics come close to that. Now, that is not to say that all that matters is the racial ethnic background of faculty. It also matters how they teach students and how they care about students. And as Bell Hooks would say, that you have to be able to love your students in order to be able to teach them effectively and in ways that are motivating to them. We also recommended that there be more professional development for the current faculty to develop racial literacy. And this is something that's interesting. We just recently reviewed professional development sessions provided by the Academic Senate. And one of the things that we found was that in those professional development sessions, there is almost, well, actually no mention of what it means to be a racially literate faculty member, an equity-minded faculty member. So more attention to that. And we also recommended that in the job descriptions as well as listservs that you be very direct, that we are searching for faculty members who have experience teaching students who are Black and Latinx, and we want you to speak to that experience in your application materials. So it would be important. I noticed that in the job description that I looked at, it mentioned that to respond to what your experience is teaching underprepared students. And I would recommend not to use that language of underprepared, because it presents the students as having deficits. And that sort of predisposes faculty to think of the students in that way. Your students are not underprepared because they want to. They're underprepared potentially because they have been deprived of opportunity and resources in the high schools that they have attended. So I would say that your students come probably with many assets, and that it is important to have faculty who tap into the assets of the students. So rather than talking about underprepared students, I think we need to talk about underprepared institutions to serve the students that they enroll. So I'll go on to the next slide. So here are some of the themes that we found related to the way that things are currently at the college. One, I already mentioned that there seems to be some resistance to talking about what does it mean? I mean, essentially, I think you are now a Hispanic serving institution, to recognize that you are what sociologists might describe as an intensely segregated campus. Usually that term, and I'm not using the term pejoratively, I think you need to own it, that you are, that, you know, less than 5% of your student body is white. And you are a reflection of the neighborhood where you live and where you work. There was among the hiring committees a sentiment that that it's not necessary to really recruit faculty who would want to come to Compton, that Compton's image speaks for itself, and that it would attract candidates who are equity-minded and from racially minoritized students. And we don't think that that's necessarily true. We think that you need to do probably more outreach. And again, to be able to use data in order to inform what it is that you are looking for in faculty candidates. I'll go on to the next one. So in terms of the hiring process, we found that it was very regimented, and in some ways it undermined having a process that is, that is professional and that would want candidates to come to Compton. So hiring is really an important decision because you're hiring typically when it's full-time faculty, you're hiring them for life. And so you really want to be sure that they are individuals who can make Compton be what it could be. And the second reason why hiring is so important, because it is probably the most effective way of changing the culture of an institution by who you hire. And Compton right now is at a very important point of thinking how it can create a culture where students who are Black and Latinx can thrive and be successful in terms of earning certificates that are high value, but also transferring to four-year colleges and to the CSU and the UC system. So you have an opportunity to change your culture by who you hire. So I'll go on to the next one. So one of the things that we found in terms of the hiring processes is that there is this kind of gatekeeping, that there is an assessment of applicants based on sometimes criteria that are not very flexible. So for instance, that if the candidates do not have experience teaching at a community college, they would not be found qualified to be considered. And so for instance, if I applied to teach at Compton College, I would not be eligible because I have never taught at a community college. But who knows, I might have other qualities that would make me a good instructor, a good faculty member at Compton. So I would say that it is important to consider why would experience teaching at a community college be important? And so think about, how sometimes the requirements might essentially be missing out on creative individuals who have a great deal to offer. There seemed to be an emphasis on scoring. There is a rubric, and much of the meetings of the faculty hiring a search committee was about scoring the candidates, and so that it became much more mechanical. And I think that there is this perception that by having this scoring system, it makes the process more democratic. So we think that there needs to be more discussion of the candidates, the pros and cons, and not just, be led by a scoring system. There is a perceived assumption that the hiring system is neutral, and that in order to keep it neutral and objective, that issues of race and racial equity should not be discussed. So we found that there was no discussion of that. And the protocol that is used for to ask questions of the candidates had no questions related to issues of racial equity or social justice, and at a place like Compton, that would be very, very important. Student success often is very much guided by how students identify with their instructors and their experience. I'll go on to the next slide. So these are our recommendations around hiring. So we think it's important to think about how you communicate with candidates for faculty positions. And so I'll tell you a practice that I've seen at other colleges where the search committee maybe makes a video of who the search committee is and talking about the college and what they're looking for. Sort of, particularly now that we are in this Zoom moment, that might be a way of creating a more friendly environment, particularly for the candidates that you will be interviewed. We noticed that there needed to be more attention to the, the qualities of good and professional communication. And as we said, create a practice of clear and friendly communication throughout the process. So, like when you invite candidates for an interview, to make a personal phone call and ask if they have questions about the process, for instance. And we found that was missing. Like we said, the process was very regimented, and in some ways, it seemed to lack a relational component to it. It was very mechanical in some ways, and that's not what teaching is about. Teaching is about relationships. We suggested that maybe think about providing the candidates with the questions that they should be prepared to respond, so that they can prepare. Sometimes, I don't think that there's anything particularly helpful to surprise candidates with questions. I don't think that you're looking to see how they react on their feet, but you want to know how they're able to reflect on what they can bring to the position at Compton. And we also made a suggestion that the leadership of Compton send out a monthly or quarterly newsletter updating the community, the college community, about what's going on, about changes in student demographic, values, priorities, grants that you have received. And Compton right now has been doing so much. And President Curry collaborates with President Luster as Equity Avengers, and they hold this wonderful podcast and through Twitter, and all of that would be great for the community to be aware of. President Curry, I'll go on to the next one. So we can skip this screening form. And have I run out of time?
You're good.
Okay, we can skip this. So this is just, this is a map of how you do the current hiring. And then each of these steps, there are probably opportunities to modify them or to improve them, to address some of the issues that that I have mentioned. I think that I'll speak here more in terms not just of the of this map, but also, you know, I don't think that, I'm not sure. I know that candidates are asked to make a presentation, but I don't know whether that's a teaching presentation. I would also recommend that candidates be asked, for instance, to show what their syllabus would be like, or their syllabi, because those are important instruments, and often syllabi tend to be very written in very punitive language. They're not friendly, they're not welcoming. Often they do not include material that speak to students. So I would include that as part of the demonstration process. I would also ask candidates to write a letter about their, you know, their teaching philosophy, or the ways in which they engage students in their own learning. Because you just don't want faculty members who are going to stand up and lecture students. I'll go on to the next one. So this is probably too small for me to read, but this was what we provided, an ideal hiring process for Compton College, and with what should happen at every step of the process. And I would just recommend that you review this, and perhaps at one of your board meetings, you know, you could ask for an update on the process. So I'll go on. Okay, so there we are. And I cannot stress how important faculty hiring is, and that it should be treated as a decision that will impact the college for many, many years to come. So I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any. Boy, you have long meetings.
Thank you. And before I open it up to the board members, Dr. Curry, what the PowerPoint presentation is titled under, because I know some of the points were a little bit smaller to read. Just I want to make sure what the title of the PowerPoint. There's a lot of PDFs on 17.01.
So that's the second to last document, the presentation from March, but I'll resend it out.
The final report presentation, that one?
Yep.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to open it up to board members. So Trustee Ramos, any questions or discussion?
Yes, my question is, you made some comments about the academic senate, the hiring committee. Were all those comments specifically about Compton's hiring committee?
No. What I mentioned, the review of the professional development, was the statewide academic senate.
Okay.
Yes, but I would say that there is probably plenty of room at Compton to think about professional development. What does it mean to be a racially literate instructor? Yeah, because even though you, Andres, you appear to be Latino to me, and even though you're Latino or I am Latina, you know, it doesn't mean that we have been taught how to be racially literate. We have been socialized in a predominantly white environment. And so we may commit the same harms towards racially minoritized students as others who are not of the same racial identity. So we are all of us are first generation equity practitioners. So we talk about first generation students. Well, we're first generation equity practitioners, and we have to learn how to become faculty members who connect with your 60% Latinx students and your 35% African-American. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Dr. Ben Simon, for the report. It was very eye-opening. Thank you.
Dr. Little?
I'm sorry, I was unmuting. Thank you again so much, Dr. Ben Simone, for your comments and the report. Just a couple of things, just from the framing perspective. I think that of course, as we recognize the demographic shifts of Compton College over the years, that it's important to note that we clarify that when we talk about shifting from historically Black, for example, to Hispanic serving institutions, that our hiring practices were not culturally responsive for any majority group when it was people of color.
Absolutely.
And I think, and so I think a lot of what we're talking about, wanting to clarify that it wasn't merely in response to a shift from those two particular groups who as you just indicated with Trustee Ramos, are not monoliths in and of themselves, but the fact that when we look at the composition of our faculty historically, that we need to continue to both acknowledge and address that regardless of who the student body is, that we understand that being culturally responsive broadly is a necessity. And with the intentionality and focus, even more so on the demographic responsiveness and representation in the faculty of our students, because we know that not merely having a numerical count, but what happens in the classroom and the messages that we send, who can be right in front of a classroom, who can generate knowledge, is also a message that goes to reifying assumptions around intellect when we only see particular groups serving as faculty members. And so I think for us at Compton College, we want all of our students to recognize, one, that their identity matters in multiple ways, their intersectional identity. Two, that as an educational institution, we are not making either intentional or inadvertent narrative that only particular groups or gender identities can be the source of being an intellectual faculty member. And that our changes to these strategies are not just because of the demographic shift, because if it shifts again, our commitment to being culturally responsive and equity minded is going to be the same. I just wanted to, for our audience who may not have heard, back in March 2020 or are not as familiar, that it's not merely trying to change things because of demographic shifts that will shift again, but to be committed to the values of equity and have it embedded in everything that we do and hold ourselves accountable to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with everything you said, and it was certainly not my intent to imply that that improving your hiring processes, professionalizing them, is driven by the shift from being a historically Black institution to a Hispanic serving institution. The issue is that the quality and the professionalism of your search processes is what matters and is what will do honor to your students and will treat them all as future and present scholars. That's, essentially part of my message.
Most definitely. And I think that was very, very clear. I was wanting to clarify because we know the great work that you guys have done and what that means. As one of the slides said, concerns with changing priorities, I just wanted to clarify to people that this is a constant work and that all communities of color, we want representation, and we want our students to feel welcomed and belong across myriad ways. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
You're muted, so
Oh, no.
President.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ben Simmons, for the report and the presentation that you provided. I just have a question. In regards to the language recommendations that you proposed, do you have, in comparative, do you have any other clients or any other examples of where that language was adopted? And can you, if so, if you could speak on the performance of bringing about that particular language that you've recommended?
And can you tell me which, are you speaking when I said not use the word underprepared?
No, ma'am. I
Oh.
was speaking about the language that you, when you had up the material of where it appears that you were some of the literature that is in as it relates to the hiring, you were saying to, it's like we were recommending or suggesting that we do an update or like a refresh in some of the language.
Right. So what I'm saying is, and we have provided examples, and yes, and many other institutions have participated in our institutes, have changed the language in their job announcements. For instance, to say something like, Compton College is situated, geographically here, and our student body is 35% African American, 60% Latinx. Our students aspire to transfer to four-year colleges, even say, 80% of the, I don't know, I'm just making this up. What I'm saying is, speak about Compton in your job announcements in a way in which it will make candidates feel like, oh, this is the place where I want to be and I can see myself in it. And it's unfortunate because this is true always of job announcements. They tend to be very dry and sort of they divest the humanness of what this is all about. So I think that, does it make any difference in terms of who applies? I don't know. I cannot answer that. I just think that a job announcement is a reflection of who the institution is, just as the way in which the interview is conducted, I feel, is a reflection of an institution's culture. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Is there anything else before I move on? Okay, I see you muted yourself. So Trustee Calhoun.
Did you talk about the application process on what, when somebody fills out the application, like even off male, female, the ethnicity and things like that, like just have a name. Is that part of any of your outreach or any of your investigation? So that when people get the application, they really don't know if the person is Latinx.
You mean like to look at them blind?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, some places do that. And and there are experiments around that when their gender and names are blinded, that there is perhaps less likelihood for bias and for stereotyping and making, racialized assumptions. Yes, that is that is a possibility to do that. And, it's something that you can try, although I don't know. If I think about I don't know to what extent bias is a problem at Compton. I think that what I would say is that your processes and practices around hiring may not be conducive to hiring the very best. And I mean the best for your students. And the and faculty can make a big difference in students' lives. I mean, just think about your own experience, and if and who among faculty that you had made a difference in your life. So that's what we need. We need faculty who use their power, their knowledge, their agency on behalf of the students that you have at Compton, not the students that they wish they had.
Right. This is a fantastic report. You did some in-depth things about the college and what your recommendations are. And I have to agree with this report. I totally agree with your recommendations and the things that you're talking about and how you outlined everything, whether you was naming Compton College in it or not. It's just that I like your report and everything that you came up with. I thought it was very in-depth. I saw something where it says, when you were doing the thing about the interviews, the process, the meetings, then it was an interview, and then it was a final interview. So I was trying to, So interview day is the day that everybody was interviewed, correct?
Right, and that's, yes, they're all scheduled. So, so time became a big issue. How much time this takes, right?
Right.
And so in the one observation that we made, candidates were interviewed over 2 days, and they're all asked questions. The way that it works in community colleges, which I totally disagree with, there is no exchange between the members of the hiring committee and the candidate. So it becomes very, very procedural. And but anyway, I think that the candidates are given, I don't remember whether it's an hour or maybe it's longer. I don't remember that. But then from there, the finalists have their interview with the president. And I think that it's with the interview with the president where it's much more conversational potentially. But with the committee, it is not. And I don't know what the presentations are like either, whether everybody attends the presentations, where questions are asked. I don't think we observed that part of the process. But at every step in this map, right, there are monsters. There are monsters, meaning that there are things that could go wrong, and so that's why each has to be looked at really carefully, and how does it enable or inhibit the best candidates for students from emerging. And I don't know whether you involve students in the job interviews or in the presentations, and maybe they should be. Maybe ask your candidates, we worked at the Community College of Aurora in Colorado, and what the math chair, after working with us, did was he asked the candidates to present, how would you present the syllabus on the first day of class to your students? And that enabled them to choose an instructor who was able to bring the syllabus alive, not to go just page by page. And that's what we need.
And I like the statement you made about if you've never worked at a college. I like
At a
what you were
community
saying.
college.
A community college. I like what you were saying that you wouldn't get hired at a community college because you never worked at one. And I think that's kind of a disadvantage also. Just because you haven't worked at a college, I don't know why people cannot be given a chance, because although they haven't worked at a community college, they could probably bring a lot of new ideas to interchange with the ones that you have, and could be a very fantastic, great candidate. But they do that. If there's no college experience, it's like they just put it to the side.
Yes, that's true. And so I don't know, maybe I'll apply, see what happens.
Okay, thank you. Once again, this is a fantastic report. We just have to figure out how to do it. If somebody applies that has never had any college experience, how do you give them that college experience without turning them down? You know what I'm saying? It could be a lifelong dream of somebody to work at a community college.
You have to look for dynamic people who can speak with your students, who can treat your students with respect and dignity.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for that report. And I want to make sure there's no action being followed up, Dr. Curry, correct?
There's no action, but Dr. Benjamin, who's the lead on this project, the facilitator, is going to provide you with the next steps of what we're doing next. Dr. Benjamin? She's talking without being unmuted. Dr. Benjamin, you're muted. We can't hear anything you're saying.
Thank you very much, Chairperson and Sonia and Dr. Ben Simone. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in ages, and Keith and I wanted to bring you back as part of this to just do a little refresher for the board. And so we've been working over the last couple of months. They've just looked at data and the student data, demographic data, staff demographic data. Now we have this. And you've chosen, board members, your retreat date in February, and that's the day where all of this will come together. And we'll talk about policy recommendations, because that's your realm that you'd like to make in terms of making this hiring process better. That's the purpose of the grant. So I will give you homework. I'm just telling you in advance, and bug you too, to remind you to get it done, because I want you to reflect on what you've been receiving over these last 2 or 3 months, and then be ready on the 26th to really do some good thinking and have your ideas ready as a board for development that day, and then implementation later. So thank you all. It's always a pleasure. And I'll just wish everybody happy holidays.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think then I have completed my responsibilities for this meeting. Have I?
Yes, you have.
All right. Great to see you, Dr. Benjamin.
Good to see you as well.
Yes. Okay. And also you, President Curry, and all of you board members. And I wish you well in 2022. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation, and Dr. Benjamin as well. Moving on to 17.02, 2022 Compton Community College District Legislative Priorities and Legislative Advocacy Handbook, Dr. Curry.
So just for the board, for your education, if you can open up the second attachment, please. I'm sorry, the first attachment. So what we did was, as you know, in January, we started advocacy. And so we have our handbook for advocacy, which Heather Parnock has updated for us. And the last part about this, and we can bring this back next month as well, because it's right before our visits, is the So January, for our January 24th meeting, right before our visit to Sacramento. But one of the things I wanted to highlight was the legislative priorities and talking points. The first talk there. So what we did was we organized the legislative talking points for the board regards to immediate budget concerns. And then we also talk about facility growth for the district. And then also we talk about supporting initiatives that promote student success. And then also on page 2 includes some of the priorities from the league and the California Community College Chancellor's Office. The only change that I would like to make to this document is regards to under ensuring equitable access to textbooks and instructional materials, update that information in regards to our OER goals for the college. And then also I want to include under facilities on page 1 about our Child Development Center and our request for funding in this year's budget for the Child Development Center. I want to add those two to the document and bring those back next month for the board to approve these as our talking points and our legislative priorities for the year.
So there's no action at the moment, correct? There's just
There's not. It's just for the board to look at the legislative priorities, make sure everyone's okay with it. And at the next board meeting, the board would take action on this. And this will include our packets for our meetings in January and also in February.
All right, thank you very much for that. Moving on to item 17.03, Compton College full-time equivalent students. Dr. Curry.
So I just provided an update of where we're at regards to enrollment. Right now, our call center is making calls to students who are enrolled in the fall, who will be trying to encourage them to enroll in winter and spring. We also include information about our postcards. There should be in the mailboxes for people by the 16th, 17th of this week. And so we provide information about updating what we're doing with enrollment and how we're following through on that. And so during my my listening tour on campus, I'm getting a lot more information about enrollment and different strategies being brought forward by the representative groups. So that concludes that section update.
Chair Lopez, if I may make a comment.
Of course.
Dr. Little, on that, the public comment, the public content that I'm seeing, that is where some of the outreach that is taking place.
Correct.
Can we add to this? Make a suggestion to add? Is it possible?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, in addition, because I see that utilizing the billboards that are along the 105 freeway, I would, if it has not been done already, or if it's not being considered, if you could add utilizing or suggest utilizing the billboards along the 91 freeway as well, since that is, you have the exits and off ramps off the 91 freeway to kind of help make Compton College top of mind as well to the students. And also, in addition to social media, students around this age, particularly those of incoming freshmen, I would just make a suggestion and recommendation that we utilize all the social media platforms as well as TikTok. I know we say that the younger generation is on TikTok, but we see a lot of adults also utilizing that platform as well. And also some of the, I'm not sure if it's listed here, but just to kind of round out the season, utilizing the access of some of our community-based organizations, as well as some of the college recruitments and workshops and platforms that we have as well. I know for example, I know that the Black College Expo is one that is big as well, but if we can just include those additional marketing and events that are taking place that are more geared towards the younger generation, and I'm speaking in particularly the high school students that are coming into graduating from high school and attending college. And those are the only recommendations that I have. Thank you.
And I like to add something also. What about Channel 36, which is the city of Compton? You can advertise on that. And then you have the school district. I think they're on Channel 28. And we have our Linwood Paramount, I just did Compton Unified. What channel do they use, or what public access channel do they use that it could be put on? And so I agree with, especially with TikTok. They love the TikTok, which would be real fast, and you could probably get some of the students to do TikTok, more than one. You know, because if you look at TikTok, sometimes they have 1, 2, 3, 4, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you could probably interest our students into doing a TikTok, and it's all up on there also. So just some more outreach. I like the ones that you did, and thank you for doing the DMV offices, because I brought that up a while ago. So I really appreciate doing the DMV offices on their thing. So that's really good. Thank you for that.
And we'll follow back up next month regards to these new items, or not new, regards to what was mentioned today. We do have a TikTok, and so that's something that we started, and the board approved the contract with Graduate Communications. So we'll provide an update regards to the TikTok and how we're gonna move forward with that. But I don't disagree.
Okay, well, I hope that company uses students of all nationalities and ethnicities, ages, and whatever, from high school to adults that are going to the college, if they would use them on their TikTok.
Got it.
All right. Thank you very much, board members, for that feedback. We will move on to item number 18, grant items. 18.01, administrative services, contracts over 96,700. Amendment, Los Angeles Region Strong Workforce Program, Rancho San Diego Community College District, DO 172185-4.02. And board members, I do need a motion for this one.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Trustee Ramos and seconded by Dr. Little. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos?
No discussion.
Dr. Little?
No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore?
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun?
Yes, you explained it. That's 1801, correct, Madam
Correct.
President? You did explain it in my question. So it's now it's with Pasadena?
Yeah, so Pasadena has become, so last year we worked with the LA County colleges to separate from the Orange County, LA County Regional Consortium for Strong Workforce. So now LA County is separate, which is better for Compton, because now we can focus in on this region instead of being in conversations about what's happening in Orange County. And so this focuses all on LA County and Strong Workforce and the work that we're doing in Strong Workforce. And so I'm really excited about this transfer.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understood that one. That is now in our region. That's good. Thank you.
All right, seeing no further discussion, Ms. Paula, can you do a roll call?
Trustee Dopplemore,
Aye.
Trustee Ramos,
Aye.
Trustee Calhoun.
Aye.
Dr. Little,
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item 19, board policies and administrative regulations. Board members, before I move it over to Dr. Curry, is there any particular item that you would like to highlight for him to elaborate on? Trustee Ramos.
No, I don't have any. Thank you.
Dr. Little?
No, thank you.
Trustee Dopplemore?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Trustee Calhoun?
This is 1901?
Anything under 19?
Okay, then I want the board policy 2720. I had to think about it, look at it.
So you're referencing 19.01?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Curry?
Yeah, so as I mentioned in my comments back to Trustee Calhoun, so what we did was I looked at the Community College of California board policy template and compared it to ours, and I added the information, the last couple of paragraphs, to be similar to the Community College of California's language. And what I mean by that, so could you open up that item for me, please, Lauren, 2720? So if you look at 2720, the first paragraph is our language. I just cleaned it up to separate out the other board policies that are connected to this. And then the second and third paragraph, the second paragraph has that one line that I took from CCLC in addition. And then the last two paragraphs, the first paragraph addressed conversations with employees regards to issues of the college. And the final one was new language regards to social media, which we never had on our board policy. And so these are recommended from the Community College of California template. So the first two paragraphs is a cleanup of our current language. And the last two paragraphs are the addition regards to board members talking to employees, and then also board members as relates to social media. And so those are two recommended changes.
So are all colleges following the CCLC?
Yeah, we pay.
Or do they have, I'm just asking, or do they have their own policy when it comes to this? I'm just asking.
No, most colleges follow the CCLC template. What I noticed was a change that where they had the additional language. I noticed that when I was working on this policy, and that's why I added the two. I think the last two paragraphs are good for the district because it is clear that board members can talk to employees, and what does that communication look like? And then also the social media piece regards to being on social media and how board members interact regards to social media on issues that affect the college. We never had that before.
Okay, so I want to make sure of this. I'm on social media, Facebook, TikTok, or whatever, and I see something about Compton College that somebody posted. What you're saying is this board policy prohibits me to responding to that social media post?
No,
whether it's good or bad?
No, that's not what it says.
Okay, I'm trying to get it clear.
I know I'm about to get to it. The reason why that policy is there is that if you respond to it and another two board members respond to it as well, then it can be considered a serial meeting, right? And that's where we have to be careful in regards to social media and responding on social media, because it can be considered that the board is engaged in a conversation on a matter outside of the boardroom. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Or the board meeting?
Then that's only if another board member sees it and responds.
Correct. And that should prevent board members from engaging in multiple conversations on a social media platform. So that, for example,
I can respond.
You can respond. You're not prohibited from responding. The key to this is making sure that we don't have multiple board members involved in that conversation. So let me give you an example, right? Let's say there's an issue that's on the website, on social media, regards to hiring, right? And someone says that one board member follows back up with their perspective. Then another one follows up with their perspective. That could be something that the board might deliberate on, or it could be a board item in the future. And then it can be considered that the board is having a meeting through social media because of the responses.
Right. Okay. All right. I don't think we're all together on our social media, because I don't see Madam President, I don't see Dr. Little, and I don't see Andreas on social media on the ones that I'm on. But I understand what you're saying. I'm trying to get this about the staff. Explain about the staff. Okay. I know that you are one and only employee. I got that. Help me understand about the staff, because it's confusing. We can or we cannot talk to them.
No, it says that you can have conversations with staff or with community members in order to answer their questions or provide information regarding a matter that's within the district jurisdiction of the board. But if the person is trying to comment on or get your position on something and they share with another board member, then that's where the problem comes in. As long as you have that conversation with someone, that conversation is between. So for example, if you have a conversation with someone about what's happened at college, let's say it's a bus issue, right? That's coming forward to the board. you have a conversation, that person goes from you to have a conversation with another board member, right? That means you have to be able, based on the policy, let individuals know that this conversation is between you and I, and you cannot have the same conversation with another board member or share my thoughts with that board member if you have that conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm talking about staff.
That's
Because
what I'm talking about.
if we talk to your staff right away call you and say,
Some do.
no, your staff calls you. If any of us talk to your staff, that's why I'm trying to get it clear, Dr. Curry, in my mind. If we talk to any of your staff calls you.
Yeah, but it could be a conversation with the classified staff. It could be a conversation with a faculty member. The key to this one is making sure that we're not having serial meetings and that the person that you talk to is not going back to the next board member to say, this is what that conversation is about. What is your position? And they relay your position to another board member.
Okay. Can a board member attend? I want to not break this policy. Can a board member be invited to a union meeting?
Yeah, that's not a issue.
Okay, the board member can talk at a union meeting as long as they're not talking about, they can only talk about policy or what?
Yeah, they can talk about policy, but they can't get into details regards to a matter that comes in front of the board.
Okay. I just want to know because I do my best not to talk to your staff so that they can turn around and call you and say, Trustee Calhoun had a conversation with me.
Not all of them call.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do, Dr. Curry. I'm just saying, I just want to be clear. They
I
call
think this policy change is good for the district because we address the employee or community members conversation. But the big one for me is the social media piece because that's a whole new avenue that we did not address in our board policy.
Okay, now I better understand. Thank you so much for clarifying that because I had to get clarity on that. It was driving me crazy. Thank you, Madam President. You're muted.
Is there any remainder comments, Dr. Curry, on any of the other items?
No, there's no other comments.
All right, then I can go to item number 20.
So can I start on that?
Yes.
Okay, so the only one, there's a couple I would like to bring forward for your attention to look at. The first one is item number 20.06, which is our action plan, just so you can get a sense of where we're at regards to our action plan. And these are all the recommendations from all our planning documents. I just want to highlight that for the board. Also, too, I want to highlight the present CEO work groups and task force, just so you can see that we have updated regards to the Tartar mascot review task force with Stephanie, the ASG president mentioned earlier, and also our vaccine incentive task force. So you see those updates in item 20.27. And the final one that I would like to bring forward to the board is item 20.31, which includes our board presentation report schedule for next year. So what I try to do was keep it consistent to what we did the previous year, but then also added additional presentation reports based off of the board's goals for this year. And so just want to let you know that's where we're at. But if there's a presentation or report the board would like, you're more than willing to put that as a part of the future agenda items for the board, and we can try to work those through with the schedule. And that concludes my information items.
Thank you. Just want to make sure before we move, if any board members have any comments or questions. So I'll start off with Trustee Ramos. Dr.
I
Little?
don't have any, thank you.
Okay. Dr. Little? Trustee Dopplemore?
Yes.
No, for me,
20,
I'm sorry.
20,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Trustee
Dr.
Dopplemore.
Little?
Mhm. She said she
Okay.
didn't have any. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 2011.
Yes.
Could you could you speak a little bit, give an overview, just a recap, Dr. Curry, on
Okay, so
on
2011.
2011.
Okay, 2011 is our basically our AB 705 regards to multiple measures, English and math placement. And so a year ago, we worked with the board regards to maybe 6 months ago, regards to our RP group who did this study. And the board asked additional questions regards to who are teaching the classes, how students doing based off of racial equity. And so we were able to do more in depth to the study. And so we shared it with the faculty and division chairs earlier this semester. And now we provided a cover letter in regards to the action steps. So this is to help us improve what we're doing in regards to AB 705 implementation at Compton College. And so this is something that the board actually requested additional pieces to be done, which we did. And that's a part of this report. And we're more than willing to come back to the board and do a presentation on this. But what we want to do is we released it last week. We also want to share with the board today as a part of information item. And then later in the semester, you get more information. Actually, in January, you have a presentation on AB 705. And so you get some more information about this data next month as well.
Okay, thank you. Am I muted?
Calhoun?
I'm sorry. Yes, thank you.
No,
Yeah,
no.
okay. All right, moving on to future agenda items, number 21, Dr. Curry.
I have next month, we have a couple items. We have AB 705 as a part of the presentation schedule for next month. We also have, a update on AB 705. We'll do a presentation on our professional development. I think that's important to see what we're doing with professional development, and also an update on our College Promise program and what we're doing for a College Promise. And then the final piece is we're providing a report on the California Compete study, which is a part of the goals for the Board of Trustees. So you get a sense of where we're at regards to California Competes in the study. And included in your the board item for that, I included a copy of the study for the board members. And that concludes the future items.
Got it. Thank you very much. We are moving on to
President
oral.
Lopez, may I ask a question?
Sure.
Thank you. Dr. Curry, in addition to the if this information is included, I understand that as well. But if not, in addition, if it's a possibility to because we're going to have a presentation and talk about the College Promise, is there a way to with the students, is there a way to track the students that have say utilize the College Promise in previous years, and say, for example, students that are graduating in this year, in this cycle, that are matriculating onto a four-year university, is there a way that you can track their progress in their performance versus the students that came into the program and did not utilize the Oliver W. Connor Promise?
Are you talking about the students who are enrolled at our campus?
Yes.
Yeah, we can figure some data out on that. Let me talk to my team. I don't know if I have it for January, but that'd be part of one of the research studies that we can do.
Okay, thank you.
Any other messages before we go to oral reports? All right, Dr. Curry, oral report.
I want to say thank you tonight to the Board of Trustees for, I thought today was a great meeting. I do want to announce that tomorrow via Zoom, we have the ADN graduation for our students. And I'll send a reminder to the board with the Zoom link for tomorrow. And that starts tomorrow at 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. And I will send the Zoom link to board members again. It was included in my newsletter. Also want to say thank you to the Board of Trustees for approving a lot of items tonight, which include the health benefits increase for the administrators and also for the faculty, which is a part of our negotiations for classified employees. So we have done a lot this year. We have got a lot done this past month. And so I want to say thank you to the board for approving those items. And then final thank you to the board in regards to the selection of the new trustee representing trustee area 4. I want to say thank you to the board for being flexible with the scheduling and also with the process and we were able to complete that. And I do want to welcome our new board member to the board. I know today is only her second day, but this is her second day on the board. And I want to say thank you very much for stepping up to the plate to serve as the board member for Trustee Area 4. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Moving on to the next item, board members, oral report. We will start off with Trustee Ramos.
I just wanted to mention, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in one of the special meetings, but I tuned into the redistricting committee meeting via Zoom. And yeah, it was just nice seeing, I think most of the members that were appointed were present, and just their participation, they had a lot of questions, and the meeting was good. I look forward to the next one. Thank you.
Dr. Little?
I too just want to thank everyone for their continued service, and Dr. Curry and all of our faculty, administrators, staff, and students. Want to welcome our newest trustee. And I too agree with Trustee Ramos that the commitment and service for those who are serving on our redistricting committee, want to thank them. Want to wish everyone a happy and safe holiday. And again, acknowledge our former trustee, Deborah LeBlanc, and thank her for her service. That's all.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Yes, thank you. President Lopez, I've been calling you chair all night. President Lopez, thank you. First, I would like to say thank you, Dr. Curry and my fellow Board of Trustee members. Thank you so very much for approving my nomination for the Area 4 seat. I look forward to working with all of you, and I just thank you so very much for your warm welcome and reception. And I'm very looking forward to this new opportunity. Thank you so very much. And I know that there is some big shoes to fill with Dr. Deborah LeBlanc, but I'm looking forward to continuing on her legacy and continuing to do the work that is needed in Area 4, as well as serving the students for the Compton Community College. Thank you.
Trustee Calhoun.
All right. I don't really have a lot of comments. Welcome aboard, Ms. Juanita Dopplemore. Thank you for accepting that position. And our meetings do not normally run this long. Only occasion, but I'm telling you, don't get frustrated, don't get upset. We normally, you can even ask Madam President, they normally do not last this long. This is just a long one. That's okay. And welcome aboard. I'm looking forward to working with you, going to conferences and grabbing you by the hand and introducing you to people and stuff like that. And that's it. But I'd like to know about our trustee, student trustee. When will there be a student trustee? And have a good night, everyone.
Thank you so much. I do want to echo, again, congratulations to Trustee Dopplemore for joining our board and expressing interest in serving the district. Thank you very much to the board members for their patience in today's very long meeting. And have happy holidays to our district, our staff, and the board members. Special Trustee Farrell.
I would just like to welcome Trustee Dopplemore and hope she had an interesting first meeting. Go to the report.
Thank you. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting will take place on January 24th. Our closed session will begin at 5 and our open session will begin at 6. It is 8:21.